we managed to get a good start. Actually, across the Flying we're doing 8 to 10 knots.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Just had a lovely little breakfast, and we're just pitching our way through the holes in the wind. Currently 9 knots. Very nice.
And we zoom down to the Thames estuary quite smoothly and slowly.
So, Thames estuary, busy little spot. Wind farm in a non-windy position.
Cup of tea in hand. Just leaving Lowestoft there, eh, Rope? We've got a lot to catch up, haven't we? So we've only got about 8 knots of true wind. We're sailing at, 7.5 knots. On here we're 9.5, 9, nearly 10 knots. That's due to the massive amount of tide that's going with us. Not a thing to mess with, though, is it? He's definitely bigger than us.
The wind disappeared, and that seemed to be the process for the next few days of a little bit of wind, then stopping for several hours, having to kedge. That's the first experience as well, and ended up going backwards for a mile before the anchor caught on the bottom. We were anchored at 53 metres of water, so we tied quite a few pieces of string together to get down there.
Alright, okay, so sort of 55 miles, 55, 60. He's looking pretty shite out here.
Waggle the mane hard enough, we'll be able to have pigeon pie for dinner as they slide down. I'm going to catch them. So this is what we're going to do. I've got a rope round the boom, and you see the pigeon at the top of the mast up there. Now we're going to have a go and get them off.
I had some visitors, had some pigeons landing on top of the mainsail.
Really?
Dan spent 10 or 15 minutes trying to remove, but they were sturdy little buggers and they didn't want to go.
What happens if they start shitting on us, Dan?
Well, hopefully they'll shit on your side of the boat, not mine. Oh no, they're turning round. That's a bit worrying.
Oh, there's an arse pointing towards us.
Back end of one. Let's have another. Let's see if we can get into a walrus war. Oh. It's a roller coaster ride up there.
No, one's gone.
Going to one.
No, he's back. I think they want the free rides at Plymouth, don't they?
I give up.
Free bird. 3.8. Sun. Sails. And a pigeon.
And then we also had another one that was hopping around the deck.
Matey, where you been racing?
And I guess we were just getting a bit soft by then, but I gave it a little cup of water. They hopped into one of the cockpit lockers. Unfortunately, I had my wetsuit boots in there and it started pooing all over them. In the morning, the bird came out, had a look around and just flew away. Had its rest. I'm going home now, thanks mate.
Weaving through them all night. Big, huge, massive container ships sitting on their anchors, waiting to go up to Felixstowe, unload their cargo. There'll be our competitors down there. Be ready to pick her up.
We just basically had a big high pressure ridge that sat almost perfectly over the channel, so that there was very little wind. What there was mainly on the nose, certainly to start with.
Margate. White Cliffs of Margate. We're close tacking up the shore. Next port to go past will be Dover, hopefully. So tide will let us. Wind has come in, we've got a big calm there for a little while. We'll have to drop the old anchor. Thought we'd do a bit of fishing, but didn't quite get enough time. Nice to get another couple of mackerel for lunch. So now we've got a fridge full of food, so it doesn't really matter really. Roof's up there on the hill. It's been there since 3 o'clock in the morning. Can't get him off it.
We wound up in the end having to kedge no less than 4 times. First at Northforeland, then we were somewhere off Brighton. We did have quite a nice passage to the Straits of Dover, thank God, but it was with a nice little bit of breeze and it died away.
Direction. Everyone seems to be like disappearing. It's depressing. There you go. Such is life. It's beautiful, huh? I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to be depressed here. Forward motion at all, and this is the water going past us.
We just missed the tidal gate at St Catherine's and had to kedge just off St Catherine's with the south end of the Isle of Wight again, where various monohulls caught up with us. Some of them trying to beat up, like Blue Cube trying to beat up against the tide. They ended up having to kedge just like we were. Then we all sort of restarted at the same time, so we'd have fun little races against the monohulls. We generally managed to leave behind after we sort of started a bit. Then they're quite likely they catch us at the next gate.
4 hours. I guess in 4 hours' time she might be at the other point. I reckon they're just trying to get here for a gin and tonic, Rupert. Trouble is we've run out of gin. Call ourselves a cruising catamaran, eh? Enjoy that then! Some serious short tacking.
If you just make one tidal gate, you're making a huge difference in your time.
Looking good. Drift for 6 hours, go fishing, drift for 6 hours, watch a bit of telly, some Wimbledon, drift for another, pull the anchor up, do a bit more drifting. But we get to see the Jurassic coast in all of its glory.
Back on the oars. Just manages to avoid the rocks around the Mewstone of the inner slimers, round the corner, and then the breeze came in for one last time. And we sailed up to the western entrance. Freebird was 10-12 minutes ahead of us. And we just started feeling that we really could do this. All we got to do is just keep going. off of Catwater, Breakwater. Great to see those guys again. Make sure you don't go through the moorings, get disqualified at the last minute. And we could see on the Royal Western balcony the families, and they started to wave. And just as we came up to the line, they all started cheering. And Dan and I thought, great, we're across the line. And then all the guys on the balcony suddenly started saying, you haven't finished, keep going. We couldn't believe it. So we went on for a couple more yards and we got our hooter, and that was it. End of the race. Just fantastic.
And then the wind decided to just disappear, and it was oars.
Yeah, we rode for 2 hours this morning.
I came out with a race officer, Matt, my brother, with a bottle of champagne, which I'd done for him 4 years previously.
Well, thanks, Peter, for a good race.
It's end of a good race.
Yeah, it's been great, Peter. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we've been very fortunate. We haven't hit the line seconds at all.
Paradox does it again, eh? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Must have done, I'd have thought. If it's true, well done. Well done, the Spliffers. Well done, Will.
In the rib, go and see the families. Lovely to see everybody.
Thanks. How you doing? Alright? Yeah. Looking good.